Hello guys, my name is Divesh Jadwani and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, in the last previous videos, we have spoken about what is context engineering, what were those problems which gave rise to context engineering. In this video, we are going to talk about the solutions of the context engineering problems. So let us quickly go ahead and dive right into it. So in the last part, we spoke about the context engineering problems, which involved basically four of these things. Context poisoning, when a wrong misinformation compounds over time within multiple AI agents. Context distraction, that while doing a task, you are receiving different sources of information and now you are distracted about your main task. This is context distraction. Context confusion, to do your particular task, you have many tools to use. Now you are confused that from which tool to get the context from, because tools are made for giving you context and you're confused that which tool to use to get which kind of context, and this is what context confusion is. Lastly, context clash. Context clashes when regarding a same event you get lots of different informations. From information source A you got XYZ information, from source B you got XYZ information. Now which information to trust? Always trust the latest information. Okay, so this is what context clash was, and now what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and talk about the solutions of context engineering problems. Okay, now solutions are very simple to all of these. Okay, I'll just use a different color and write the solutions over here itself. The very first solution, the most simplest, we will complete: context clash. Now, context clash, we already spoke about the solution, that when same information, when information about the same event is coming from different sources, always trust the latest information. Okay, latest information. To avoid context clash, always take for the latest information. Okay, now secondly, we'll talk about context confusion. We'll go ahead and understand about this particular problem, context confusion. So the solution of context confusion is tool loadout. Okay, tool loadout. Tool loadout is very simple. Let us say you have an AI agent. What you will do is, to this AI agent, you will give a list of tools, that for this particular task, this tool is required. For this task, this tool is required. This task, this tool is required. Now, when your AI agent absolutely knows which tool to use, then it will be clear that, hey, now I will use this tool. Okay. People also use RAG kind of techniques for AI agent to use these tools. Okay. And we literally make a separate AI agent to choose the number of tools, to assign number of tools to your different AI agents, that there will be a single AI agent who will decide that this AI agent will use this tool, this AI agent will use this tool, and this AI agent will use this tool. All the agents are given universal tools, and your first supervisor agent will decide which tool to use for which AI agent, so that there is no confusion in using tools. This particular solution is called as tool loadout. When you load your tools in the very first go, the moment you receive your task, you check out that which tool is required for which particular task, and when you know which tool is required for which particular task, then there is no confusion of which tool to use. And this is the solution, tool loadout, to the problem context confusion. This was simple. Now let us talk about context distraction and context poisoning. So see, how do we, solve our problem to context distraction? The answer is scratchpad. What is scratchpad? See, we as humans, okay, this is a human is doing a task. What is the best way that human stays in context? Human maintains a journal, or human maintains a small note on his hand. Okay, you might have seen that professors, whenever you are going to talk to a professor, the professor will be sitting on his desk, and while he's sitting on the desk, on the left hand side he will have a small paper. that every time he wants to remember something, right? And not only professors, everyone do it, that they are doing a task. Okay, they are doing a task. Now we remember the problem that we were talking, that your AI agent is doing a research, and in this research he got a call from his friend, or he got some another information, and then he remembers a urgent task of sending mail to someone, right? We spoke about this scenario. Now in this scenario, what we will do is, instead of getting distracted that, hey, let us switch to that task, let us switch to that task, what we will do is, we will note down that, okay, I am currently doing my research, I am reading the fifth research, and I am on the 60th page of the paper. Okay, now I will keep this on hold and I will go ahead and write a mail. Okay, or I will just simply note down that, hey, complete this particular fifth research paper and then go ahead and send a mail. Okay, similarly, I got a call from my friend that, hey, football match at 6 p.m. What I will do is, I'll simply make a note in my notes that, hey, football match at 6 p.m. So what is this? Okay, we are maintaining a scratch pad. Okay, we are maintaining a scratch pad to remember the small details, so that we are not distracted any time anyhow. We stay in the context, we complete all our tasks in the remaining in the context. Okay, and this is the solution, scratch pad. And coding agents is an amazing example of using scratch pads. If you have ever used Cloud Code list downs your tasks on a scratch pad. Okay, whenever you give your coding agent a big task, they will break it down all the tasks into smaller subtasks, and they will have a tick box also over there. Okay, the moment a task is finished, they will put a tick mark on that task, second task, third task, fourth task. Now what is that? That is a scratch pad. Okay, just how humans keep a scratch pad on their left hand side, rough work, right, to remember small details, that, hey, I will not forget this task. And to to do all that, Scratchpad is used by our AI agents to manage context. Okay. And now the fourth kind of solution, or the fourth kind of problem, context poisoning. Okay. Now, one more thing. A solution to context distraction is also summarization. Okay. But summarization we handle with memory. So that is already handled. We don't have to worry about it. Now, context poisoning, when a misinformation is compounded over time. So in this particular scenario, whenever we get a new information, okay, whenever we get a new information, in this scenario, we will validate that information from various other sources. Okay, a very good example of this particular scenario is doctor. Okay, doctor, if you go to a doctor, you will tell this doctor that, hey, my throat is paining, and because my throat is paining, I feel I have fever. Okay, my throat is paining, I have fever. Doctor will not take your information in the very first go and assume that because this person is saying he has throat ache and he has fever. Doctor will not consider your fact. Doctor will ask you specific questions. How's your stomach? Doctor will check your eyes, right? Doctor will also ask you to breathe, to check how you are breathing. Doctor will also check your pulse or something, right? After checking all of these things, doctor will come to a conclusion that, hey, you don't have a fever, you just drank cold water, and that is why your throat is aching. Drink hot water and you will be solved. So what did doctor do in this particular scenario? Doctor collected facts. Doctor collected facts to validate if this information is correct or not. Similarly, your AI agents, when the moment new information is received, okay, your AI agents will validate that particular information in different ways from web source or any other source. They will try to make sure that at least they have gotten the same information from 4 to 5 sources. Then only they will log that information in their context, else they will not log their information in the context. And this is what was the solution to all the contextual problems. Context poisoning, the solution is validate information always. Context distraction, keep a scratch pad. So your coding agents keep a scratch pad. Use Cloud Code, you will see that. Context confusion, When you have multiple tools, which tool to use? So the moment task is received, list out all of your tools. Hey, I have all these tools. And then when you know which tool is doing what task, you know which tool to choose. Lastly, context clash. When multiple information is coming for the same event, go for the latest information. And you will get all this on this particular page. How to fix your content. So it is the same blog post. See, what are we seeing over here? Why we have this particular image? Okay, because on one agent there is so much of information which to choose, when to choose, okay, how to choose. So context poisoning, context distraction, confusion, and context clash. And they have also given different things. Tool loadout, okay. Context quarantine is something else. So what is context quarantine? We will talk about that as well. Context quarantine is the process of dividing the context within your different AI agents. This means that now each of the AI agent will have some task. Let all these other AI agents maintain their own context. For example, if you are working in a company, okay, many people are working on a similar task. Everyone remember their own part. Testing team remember their own part. Okay, other team remember their own part. Everyone does not have to come and tell all of their parts to your supervisor. Let everyone maintain their own context. Okay, that is context quarantine, where isolating context in their own dedicated threads. Okay, this also comes up with memory. Okay, now context pruning, remove irrelevant or otherwise unneeded information from the context. If now when you have collected all this context, you will validate this context, or if the task is finished and you don't need that context, remove that. Okay, context pruning, okay, over time just go on removing the information which you don't need. Context summarization, context offloading, storing information outside the LLM's context, usually via a tool that stores and manages the data. Context offloading is exactly what I was referring to as scratchpad, storing information outside the LLM's context. Now, we as humans, we are thinking about a lot of things. Now we have kept a scratchpad where we will note down small things to keep a track of our context. That is not in our memory, that is in front of us, quick referral. Okay, so same, keep it outside the LLM context but still use it to keep a track of it. Okay, and see here you will get all the information about all of this. Similarly, there are many other blogs as well. For example, a context engineering by Langchain. They have also suggested similar solutions, but their definitions will be different. Okay, see, write context, select context, compress context, isolate context. Solutions are the same. People are using it in different ways. Okay. Why does a context get filled again? Because an AI agent has instructions, which means prompts. It has knowledge, which means database. It has tools. Because all of this information, context get full. Okay. And see, so here you will see write context, compressing context, isolating context. Okay, these all are also different solutions, and you know everything has a source. Isolating context, same thing. Okay, but these are the basics. First you understand both of these blog posts. It will take 15 minutes to reach each blog post. Once you know that blog post, then it is simple, you can refer other blog posts. Okay, I can show you this blog post. Okay, the title is Don't Build Multi Agents. This does not mean literally don't build multi agents. Don't build multi agents without properly managing your context. And see, they start with principles of context engineering, right? So yes, these all sources are provided to you. You can read this context engineering things. Let me show you the last post. See, this is your post, the rise of context engineering. You can start why is context engineering important, examples, how LangGraph uses. So when we will be using LangGraph, how we will be managing our context. Okay, communication is all you need. So you can read this blog post. So you can just go on going in depth of all of these things, and you will understand multiple things. Read some articles, put some time. Okay, not everything will be found on ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. there are many better things on the internet, so just make sure that you visit that. Okay, and that was all for this particular part, understanding different context problems and their solutions. All right, people, wasn't that so simple, understanding context engineering in such simple words? And that is all you had to know about context engineering. See you in the further videos where we will see the implementation of how exactly we engineer the context in our agentic AI applications. Until then, stay happy, live your life. Bye bye.